Hello everyone, welcome to the spoiler show edition of the Secret of NIMH. Now, I highly suggest you go see the original Z review of it, because that really sums up my thoughts and my rating of the movie. This is more of the in-depth analysis, exploring the themes and the characters, and this one has spoilers on it. So if you haven't seen the movie, definitely go check the original review out. Okay, so one of the things I really want to talk about that I couldn't go super in depth on in the other one was the theme of the battle between nature, science, and magic and the unknown. Now this film is awesome and it provides arguments and the solutions for all three. Basically, the science aspect is the injections that the rats of NIMH had put into them, and how this altered their minds, and this made them much more intelligent creatures and beings. Now, it makes them, and they become more and more reliant, and it makes them very good, and they want to stop, well, most of them want to stop stealing from the farmer and really become their own society. While some of them still want to continue their lifestyle of rats and stealing from the farmer while also keeping this intelligence. So that's a battle between science and nature. Do you go with the science and basically try to do your own thing and make your own society because of these injections and these intelligence that you've come across? Or do you stick to what nature tells you to be as rats? To just be stealers and thieves and all that stuff. Now, both sides actually make a compelling argument. And it's very nice to see that it doesn't just go for one side over the other. No, it argues for both sides. And it also gives a solution. Or, if you're looking at it another way, another problem. The unknown and the magic in this world. Which is represented by the amulet that Nicodemus gives to Mrs. Brisby. Now, this magic and this unknown element, it says they were only open to someone who is courage of the heart. And Mrs. Brisby sums it up perfectly. And she's the only one who's able to activate it and to basically save her children from dying. So it's a very powerful sort of force. And I think it not only does it represent magic to go with the science and the nature, it does represent the unknown and how you don't know what's going to be out there, but you still strive to find it. Because, for an example, when Mrs. Brisby first touches the stone, it burns her. But when she touches it again, is when she's able to finally fulfill the magic. I think so she's drawn to the stone, and because even though she doesn't know what it's going to do, she knows it could help. And it's a very nice dynamic they have with those three elements really playing into each other and playing off each other. Just really strong sort of theme that you don't see in almost any kid shows nowadays. Another thing I'd like to talk about is Nicodemus's death. I had a couple problems, but I liked it too, I was completely shocked that they killed him off. I mean, he was a completely major character. I didn't expect the old wise guy to just die like that without even getting a death speech. He just gets crushed by the rocks. So I think that's a good sort of change of pace. It's you think Jenna's gonna try to kill Nicodemus. He's gonna fail. Everything's gonna be happy. No, he literally kills the guy. And all you see is just a mangled body. So that's really harsh. And, I didn't expect it at all. But I do think the death was kind of glanced over. This is a major character. They kill him. They're like, oh my god, he's dead. And then a bunch of other stuff happens and they have to go do that stuff. So I wish there was more emphasis, even after they saved the Mrs. Brisby's home, maybe emphasis on Nicodemus is dead, let's mourn. There was barely even a mourning period. There was barely even a period where they talk about what he was. So it was just completely sudden and instant and he's gone. And there's almost no mention of him after that. But I guess that's a good metaphor for how death really is. It just happens, and even when you don't expect it. Still, I think they could have done something to make the death have more of an emotional impact. because it just comes and goes. And I think they could have made it a little better. Another thing I like to talk about, how awesome Mrs. Brisby is. I already said in the Z review how awesome she is. She's really awesome. I think she's just an amazing character. Because I already talked about it, but she's this kind, gentle, nice, humble person. But really, she's the bravest one in this movie. And she's always helping people. Even, for example, when Jeremy gets stuck in the string. This is basically one of the first scenes we see Mrs. Brisby. She knows the cat dragon is roaming around out there. But yet she still tries and saves this poor bird. Who really is kind of annoying. So almost anyone else would have just kept walking. That's not her problem. But she's very kind and she's very gentle, but she's very brave, even if she doesn't know it. I think that scene sums up her character perfectly. And the way she continues to try to save her children after their house is sinking in the mud, even at the risk of her own life. That's another scene. Or when she decides she'll be the one to drug Dragon so the Rats of NIMH can basically run around for the day. Another scene. There's multiple scenes in this movie where she does unthinkable sort of things that any regular person would not be able to do. And she's just timid, sort of scared one, and she's still able to do them. She talks to the Great Owl. She helps the Rats of NIMH. She's just an amazing character and an amazing mother too. Probably the best I've seen in film. She is just a great character. I wish she was in more stuff or more characters like her because she's amazing. There's not much else to talk about. I already got most of it all in the regular review, but I do say this movie is really underrated. You know. You rarely hear people talk about this movie, which is a shame because it's so amazing. It's great. I loved it so much. And it's a shame that you don't hear people talk about it. When people talk about their favorite animated movies, a bunch of Disney movies pop up, maybe even some Warner Brothers, and even some other Don Bluth things. But not The Secret of NIMH. It should be more well known because this is a really strong, amazing movie. I think it's really good. Now, if you have any feedback for me, leave a comment. If you like what I'm doing, leave a like. Subscribe to my videos if you want to see more, and tell me what you want me to review for the next time. Okay? So have a good day and goodbye.